Ja, hallo und herzlich willkommen zum WIRO Sitzsackschnack. Diesmal mit Derrick Alston Jr. Hi Derrick.
Hi, what's up? How are you?
Pretty good, thank you. Ja, wir hatten ja schon ein paar Sitzsackschnacks gemacht, die letzten Wochen, Monate über. Wir stellen nach und nach unsere Neuzugänge vor. Salom Mavukbe war dran, Jaquan Lewis war dran, jetzt ist Derrick Alston dran. Und in den nächsten Wochen, Monaten werdet ihr dann auch noch Elias hören, die Coaches und Spieler aus den vergangenen Saisons. Also seid gespannt, da kommt noch einiges auf euch zu. Jetzt aber zu Derrick. Derrick ist 25 Jahre alt, geboren in Houston, Texas und spielt seit dieser Saison bei uns. Derrick, 25 years old from Houston, Texas, new player this season for the ROSTOCK SEAWOLVES. First question for you, how did you get in touch with basketball in the first place?
I would say it was kind of integrated within the family. Come from a pretty big sports family, with a lot of my mom's side being on the football end, and then with my father being a professional player as well, not only in the NBA but also in Europe. So the game was kind of introduced to me at a young age, and naturally watching him and watching other games, just fell in love with it. And then when I came of age, started playing myself, and then haven't looked back since. So it's definitely, it's brought me all the way halfway across the world. So I could say it's been pretty fun so far.
So when did you start playing? What age?
I don't know an exact age. I'd probably say around like 6 or 7 is when I started playing, competitively, and then probably started taking it really serious when I got to late middle school, high school, so around like 12, 11. So
that's when you start growing as well, right?
Yeah, got a couple of growth spurts. I had a really big one in high school. I came in as a freshman at about, I don't know the meters, but 5'10", and then grew to about 6'5" in like a summer or two.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it was a pretty big growth spurt. Yeah, all that just was like out the window. Had to get a whole new wardrobe, but it was all good.
I Googled you today, and I found out that you were a ball boy at Houston.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
So while I was in high school, my dad was working with player development with the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
And I would always, as just a fan of basketball, and it was growing up in basketball, I always wanted to be around it. So that was kind of like really my first experience being around the pro game, apart from my dad and being with the NBA. And I'd always be out there. I'd always be out there rebounding, during pregame and stuff when the guys are getting ready. So my dad, was cool with the equipment manager and things like that. So I was able to get a job doing that. So I got to get paid for it. So it's a pretty cool first job for me, and it was great. I mean, I got to rebound for some of the greatest players in the world, and also talk with them too. So that experience, I have a lot of really good memories, from doing that for a couple of years. So it was a lot of fun.
So you're a fan of the Houston Rockets? Still?
I wouldn't say now. I would say more growing up. In high school, I was always rep the home team, but I've always been a Lakers fan, just from Kobe. Kobe's been was my favorite player, so always been more of a Lakers fan than the Rockets. But you got to always support the home team.
So you were a ball boy during high school? You played in high school as well, right?
Yeah.
And you played in college for Boise State?
Boise State.
I read that you, or a coach of yours, turned a video in, and then they signed you?
The story of that is crazy to this day. I was, it was my senior year, so our senior season had finished for the high school season. So I was still kind of doing like club ball and things like that just because I didn't have any offers my senior year. I had some Division II kind of schools like that, but I was looking just to kind of crack into the Division I ranks. And yeah, so my video got sent to a JUCO, I think out in Arizona, and a grad assistant from Boise State who used to go to that school. They sent it to him, and then then he sent it to one of the assistant coaches at Boise State.
Wow.
His name's John Riley, and crazy thing about that is him and my dad had played together in Australia during I think one of his last years. So there's already kind of a connection there, and then they talked to me about coming on as a preferred walk-on, which is kind of like a scholarship player without the scholarship in a sense. So that was really my only Division I, offer, I would say. And looking at kind of all my options, I felt that it would be the best, I think, for me versus kind of, going to a D2 or taking an extra year of high school doing a prep year. So decided to kind of bet on myself, and I had the full support of, my family and everybody, and kind of did it and didn't look back, and it's turned out well so far. So I'm pleased. But yeah, looking back on that, definitely was crazy how kind of went from having no offers to walking on,
first
and then
division.
and then to kind of make the jumps that I did. So it was definitely crazy.
So you didn't know about the video?
No, I didn't even know that it was like, I mean, I had tape and I sent it out to a bunch of coaches. My high school coach was as well too, but I didn't know, I didn't know that whole story until I even got to Boise, which was insane.
And Boise State's colors are blue and orange, which are ours
which are
as well,
like ROSTOCK. Yeah, so it's a small world.
Small
Definitely a
world.
small world for sure.
Your first year at Boise State, you were redshirted. What does that mean? Redshirt?
So a redshirt is basically you sit out a year and don't play, but it doesn't count towards your eligibility. So I came into high school. I mean, I came into college pretty light. I was about 150 pounds, and I was about 6'7" at the time.
Wow.
So I had to, some developing to do with my body and also with my game and things like that. So I was really a lot in the weight room. So it was basically kind of like a developmental year, I would say.
But you got to practice with the team.
But I get to practice with the team. I got to travel a good amount as well too. So I was still a part of the team, just I wasn't playing. So I was able to develop my skills a lot, and then develop my body, which was the biggest thing for me. So I felt like that year was really huge for me in terms of my development and getting ready to play Division I hopefully.
Did you have teammates back then that you're still in touch with that play in Europe or in the NBA right now?
Yeah, a couple of teammates. I think from obviously when I was there, teammates that I had then, but also former players are playing, across Europe right now. My roommate from my first 2 years in college, who's, I consider a brother of mine, Justinian Jessup, is playing currently with Zaragoza in ACB.
Okay.
Another guy, James Webb, he left the year that I came into Boise. He plays with Valencia Basket, which is in ACB and EuroLeague. Derek Marks, who plays in second division of Italy. Ryan Watkins, who I think is in Japan right now. So we have a good amount of guys that are playing in Europe right now at a pretty high level. And then we have Chandler Hutchison, who's kind of like the golden child for Boise. He first ever draft pick in the first round. So definitely we once I got there, I think the pro and basketball started to really rise up. I would say Boise State's more known as a football school, just with the blue turf and kind of the tradition of that stuff, and the Fiesta Bowl runs, all the Statue of Liberty, all that. I mean, the plays for that are insane. But I think since I've gotten there in those last couple of years, basketball's definitely started to grow, and it's become a really big part, I think, of the Boise community. And the team this last year, or the past year, they just won conference championship, made it to the NCAA tournament, I think the first time in a couple of years. So they're doing really well this year. So it was definitely cool to be a part of something like that, and also to have friends and teammates of yours, still playing, over here in Europe and also back in the NBA.
But none of them are in the BBL, right?
Christian Sengfelder is in the BBL. Yeah, a teammate of mine during my second year when I came off redshirt. He had transferred in from Fordham for his grad transfer year. So that was insane too. When we played Bamberg, and seeing him and things like that, like it's just like that was crazy.
Was it the picture I took of you guys?
Yep. So yeah, just that was a big brother of mine. So getting to play against him was definitely, going from college teammates to playing at one of the highest levels. It's definitely it was a really cool thing.
Great. April 7th, 2020, almost 3 years ago, you entered the NBA draft. What expectations did you have back then?
Man, that time was crazy. I remember back in that's kind of like right. COVID was still going on. COVID was still a really big thing. So just that year before, which was my fifth year, we had no fans, in the stands for our games and things like that. So that season was definitely hard in terms of kind of just like, because it was almost kind of like practice in a way. But you're just playing against somebody else, and you got fake crowd noise. You got, we had the fake crowd noise. It would be like the little cutout boards of people like in the stands. Like it was
the same at all.
Yeah, it just wasn't the same atmosphere. We had some really good home courts in the Mountain West. San Diego State was a really big one. New Mexico, which I think is probably one of the best home courts in college basketball, and just going there and having just nobody. Like it was just, you just have media people and then the two teams and the refs.
People chatting.
Yeah, you can just hear people chatting. I remember sometimes like at the free throw line, the crowd noise would stop, so it was just like dead silent. It was a really interesting time. But after that season, COVID kind of started to lessen up, I guess, with the restrictions and things, and that's when I'd entered my name that year. I didn't really, I guess, have an expectation. It was always a dream of mine, and it still is a dream of mine to play in the NBA. And I went into that process, just trying to maximize everything that I had. And I felt like I put my best foot forward within the process, and I didn't, like I said, have an expectation come draft night, but obviously went undrafted. But it wasn't like you're obviously hurt because you think, I think everybody wants to get drafted and have that kind of moment. But I think for me, it was, going undrafted wasn't the worst thing. I got a really good opportunity in summer league with the Warriors, and then moving on to going to camp with the Jazz, I think was a really, really good experience for me. And then that kind of progressed to me having a really good G League season, and now it's helped my career get to this point. So I would say it was tough at the moment, but looking back on it, it's just it's always just motivation for me.
Right. You just said it. You went undrafted with the Golden State Warriors for summer league, and then you played with Utah Jazz, and in the end, Dallas Mavericks. Mm-hmm. So it's like 3 huge NBA teams you get to practice with. Like, I don't know, who did you practice with?
With Utah, going to training camp with Utah was great. Got to, be around guys like Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson. That whole Joe Ingles, like just guys who are just like bona fide, obviously you got bona fide superstars. Just being around it, was definitely like a great experience, and just being able to pick up, kind of pick up things from those guys and talk with them. So I definitely feel like I maximized a lot during training camp, not only with the players, but with the coaches as well too, having a relationship with them. So it was definitely a really, really good experience, I feel like, and it's helped me. I think, I take things from that I've learned from there and just try to apply it in my game and myself.
After you signed with Utah Jazz, you went to their farming team. Is that correct?
The G League. Yeah, the G League.
Salt Lake City Stars.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play a season there, a whole season?
Yeah, I played the whole season. It was great. I think for me, obviously the G League is a really good step, I think, for development. Mm-hmm. And I felt that implementing myself to the pro game was huge. And I think I had a really big role with the Stars, started playing a lot of minutes, getting a lot of touches and things like that, and had put up some really good numbers, and just learned a lot about what it takes to be a professional playing at this level. It's a little bit different than here, because we have, basically 1 game a week, where in the G League, it's like we might have 3 or 4 games a week, a back-to-back, got to travel, things like that. So that was kind of like my first taste of like what the pro kind of schedule is like. And it was tough. It took some adjusting, but it was fun. It was something I knew I wanted to do, and I feel like it just helped me so much and helped me grow and develop, just with my game and just what it takes to be a professional.
Right. If we play the German Cup next year, you'll have like 2 games, 3 games a week.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Goes up. Yeah, that's definitely a goal. To play more and just continue to just rise up in levels for sure. But I've been enjoying the one game a week. It's been great. You get to take a lot of time to prepare, to get your body right, and also to work on your game as well too, which I'm a gym rat, so I love to work on my game, before, after practice, being in the weight room and things like that. So I've been able to, build a really good routine, with our coaches and with, our strength guy Eduardo as well too. So it's been really good.
How would you call it? A gym rat?
Gym rat, yeah. I would say that's like that's the term we coined in the U.S., I guess, or through basketball, yeah.
Last summer, you joined Dallas Mavericks for summer league, and you end up in ROSTOCK. How did that happen? What was going on last summer?
Yeah, so
Tell us about it.
That summer was pretty busy. I had workouts for a couple of different teams, like free agent workouts with a couple of different teams. Dallas was one of them, and I had a really good workout with them, so they invited me on to their summer league team. And it was a really good opportunity, again, just to like be in front of, not only, that team and their personnel, but, all 30 teams across the league. So it was, summer league is always a really good opportunity. It's the hardest. But it is hard, I guess, to show everything you want to do, and show all your talent and things like that, because you kind of have to still fit in to a team, and you got, 12 other guys that want to show everything they can do as well too. But it was still a really, really good experience for myself. And then kind of after that, you kind of just look at what you got for this upcoming season with offers, and obviously we were looking at the NBA side, but also on the European side there was a lot of interest. And when ROSTOCK came about, and I talked with Coach Held and with Jens, it was just a really unique opportunity, I would feel, out of all of them.
Person? Was he over there?
Yeah, Christian I think was in Vegas, but we didn't talk in person there.
Okay.
But obviously I think they had spoken with my agent before, and then we hopped on the phone call a couple times, and just the opportunity here was just kind of like, it was just unique, I feel like, especially for a first time in Europe, and being able to have as much freedom as they've given me and things like that. And just the situation of them winning the second league and coming up to the first division, I felt like it was just a really, really unique situation and one that I feel like I can flourish in. And so far it's been a really good season, not only for the team but for myself as well too. And I'm thankful for my teammates and the coaches, everybody part of the organization for the support not only they've shown myself but just this whole team. It's been a really good year so far. We just want to finish this thing strong, and we're right there fighting for a playoff position, which I don't think anybody probably assumed we would be in. So it's been a great year so far. It's been a great one, but I know we got a lot of competitors in our locker room, and we want to we don't want to leave any stone unturned and try and just finish this thing out as best we can.
Great. Have you heard about ROSTOCK before, or was it?
No, it was first time. I mean, the only city I knew about in Germany was Berlin and Munich, just from honestly from like old movies and stuff like that. I remember
and Oktoberfest.
Yeah. Oktoberfest was like a big thing because we had that in Boise, so that's why I kind of knew it. And I had two. Christian was a German teammate, but I also had another German teammate named Robin George, who I think is playing in the Pro A. I think right now. I'm not completely sure, but
we'll find out.
Yeah, those are my two German teammates. So I had a little bit of an idea of Germany, but obviously you don't know until you really get here. So it's definitely been an adjustment, but it's been great. Just kind of experiencing a whole new culture and language. It's been amazing.
And we're going to Berlin and Munich within a week in April.
Yeah, which will be fun. That'll be fun. So we're excited for that for sure.
You already talked about your dad. Your dad played overseas here in Europe and in the NBA. How did that impact your career here over in Germany? Was that easier to go overseas because your dad played overseas? Was that an easier step?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, for me, like in my career, I want to play at as the highest level that I can. So I'm not really a stranger to having to wait or have to kind of go, like, take the process wherever it may take me, and I was always okay with going overseas. I wasn't one of those people that just never wanted to do that just because I had lived over here when my dad was playing in Spain as well too. I don't really remember too much, but I was over here. So I was, within me, I was really comfortable with it. And my agents and everybody assured me that that everything was going to be good and safe and all that stuff. But I don't really worry about things like that. But I just looked at it as a really unique opportunity and to not only grow as a player, but as a person as well too. And it's been great. But yeah, I would definitely say my dad was pretty fundamental in helping me adjust to the basketball part and also the lifestyle. And just gave me, the advice he gave me was just to embrace it, and I feel like that's what I've done, and that's why I think I've enjoyed it as much as I have.
Did your dad coach you?
Yeah, when I was younger, the coaching progression, I think when I was younger, he was really, really hard on me, which I understand, but I think as I started to get older and, being around the game so much, I think he became just more of just wanting to give advice for me and help me where I can. And kind of let me figure it out and let me kind of like fail forward in a sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the failures that I had when I was really younger has helped me kind of when I made it or not made it, but like got into the spotlight, I guess, and really started to impact and play and impact winning and things like that I was ready for. And I'm still not short of any mistake, but he definitely has been fundamental in my career to this point.
So in off season, he's not coaching anymore. When you go back home, he's not like
he's still who I work out with in the summer, for sure, and helping me with my game. And the past couple summers we've been just working on different things and my development of things, and I felt like my game has just continued to grow every single summer, every single year. I put a lot of time in the summer in my game just to try and keep making those jumps because I just feel like I'm still pretty far from a finished product, which I feel like is a really cool thing. Yeah. To be at this age and in this part of early in my career still, that I still can make such big jumps within my body and in my game. So that's always really exciting.
You said earlier that your mom's into football. Was she a player or coach or what? Did you...
No, sorry, I said football. I like American football. Yeah. So like people on my mom's side, I have a grandfather who was a coach, and pretty famous football player. the college ranks. He played at Michigan State. I couldn't tell you the years, but first black quarterback in Michigan State to win a national championship. Got inducted into the Michigan State Hall of Fame, and then NFL coach for many years, offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, Buccaneers. I'm missing a good amount, but I know for those two. So he's, football wise, he's a legend.
So football is a big thing.
Yeah, football was a pretty big thing on my mom's side. Yeah, but I mean, I never was interested in playing football, in all honesty. But I've always been a big fan of it, just from my grandfather and also my mom's brother, my uncle.
Did you get to watch the playoffs? I mean, they're pretty late.
I've been watching more of the highlights and things like that. I always try to just keep up with it and everything because my dad's a big Cowboys fan, so he was pretty upset that they lost. But yeah, I try to keep up with football as much as I can. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of football, but obviously I keep up with it. It's pretty fun to watch. But yeah, football is a really big part of my family, so it's been really cool. To have two people who also have been in part of the professional ranks helping me with advice as well too. Is huge, especially from your family. Yeah.
Pretty sportive.
Yeah, which is cool, which is really cool.
Does your family watch your games?
Yeah, the time difference obviously makes it a little hard. My mom usually watches it live, and then Dad will usually watch as a coach, he'll watch the film of it and give me his pointers and how he saw the game. Yeah.
Like a wrap up of your game?
Yeah, just a quick little wrap up of the game and things like that, which is always great.
Let's talk about your team, ROSTOCK SEAWOLVES. Who's the funniest in the locker room?
Ooh, funniest in the locker room.
Besides you.
Man, that's tough because we got a lot of characters on our team. Funniest guy, man. I would only have to say they're like a duo, Steph and Till. I would say definitely are those two together are a joke to be around, and they make every day super fun. So I would definitely have to say those two for sure.
Who's the hardest worker at practice?
Hardest worker in practice. Man, I mean, I feel like everybody's in the gym pretty early before practice. Myself included. I would definitely say Chris. Chris is in there pretty early, always shooting before practice, getting ready. Sid is always in the weight room working hard. I mean, everybody really takes advantage of the time before and after practice, which is always great to see when you have that culture, amongst the guys. It kind of makes you like, shoot, I got to get in there myself too. So that's always a good culture to have.
Yeah. Who's the alpha wolf, the leader?
The alpha? I would say it's kind of more committee, our captains, Chris, Nigel, Jaquan being, the veterans, I guess, of the team. I would say those three are probably they're the most vocal on our team. Mm-hmm. And definitely, like I said, hold guys accountable, keep us in check and kind of control everything, which is always what you need.
Do you guys spend a lot of time together next to the practice facility or besides practice?
Yeah, hanging out for sure. Especially on the road, being together on the bus rides and stuff. It's always fun being with the guys. So, I feel like we're a really close unit, and I think that's helped when you're kind of in this unique situation for sure. Being kind of, because it's really just we only got each other really, and we're probably the only ones that believe in us. So, you kind of have to. That kind of forces you to come together. So I would definitely say yeah. Off the court bus rides. Together? I wouldn't say like for like together. Yeah, I would say like we go get food together, things like that. We've been together for the major holidays and stuff for New Year's,
Christmas,
Christmas, Thanksgiving. The guys have been great with all that stuff, kind of bringing everybody together, which is always really nice, especially for the Americans being away from home. Right. So that's always really nice.
How's the food in Rostock?
It's
different from U.S. food, I bet.
Yeah, a little different, but I'm a big fan of it. I got my staple places I like to go to. Vapiano is always a big one for me. I'm a big fan of Vapiano. Lunchbox, obviously. Food here has been great. It's been just finding it where you want to go. Right. But definitely once I found it, I've been big fans of it, so it's been good.
So is food one of the biggest parts you spend your money on?
Yeah, for me, because I don't cook, so I usually only cook breakfast. So usually lunch and dinner is on my own usually. So I gotta kind of go and find something to eat for sure. Besides food, what do you spend your money on? Hobbies, shoes? I would say clothes is probably the biggest thing for me. Clothes and sneakers. That's probably I feel like if it's food, clothes, and sneakers are probably my big three in terms of spending. So, but I try to save a good majority of it.
I remember earlier this season we had the Twitch live with the BBL. Remember that? And you guys played Fortnite?
Yeah.
So Fortnite's a big thing in your off time?
Yeah, oh for sure. I'm a big gamer. I've always gamed since I was a kid. It's just something I've always loved to do. And I think kind of being over here and having a little bit more free time, gaming is always kind of a really nice escape for me. Obviously, it's kind of hard sometimes to play with my friends just because, like I said, the time difference, and most of my friends are on the West Coast. So I gotta wait till like usually 10 or 11 to even try and play with them. But I'm like, man, I gotta get to sleep. But yeah, usually gaming has been a big part of my life since I've been a kid. So it's just been it's a good pastime, good how I can kind of escape for an hour or two, from kind of all the craziness. So it's always nice.
And you're also into social media. You got a TikTok account, which is pretty famous, I would say.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
You want to take over the SEAWOLVES TikTok account one day?
Man, maybe. Shoot, I got some decent ideas with marketing and things like that. If you guys need me to do more TikToks.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I just like doing that stuff. Just show a different side of me. I think always. People know me, as an athlete in basketball. So I kind of like having social media to kind of just show who I am off the court and just kind of, just having fun. So that's usually that's what I use it for. Just kind of be more, have more transparency. Like I'm not just an athlete, like I like having fun. I like playing video games and joking around and stuff like that. So it's not serious. Guy. Yeah, just a regular guy. Yeah. Just might be a little bit taller than the average person, but still a regular guy. Yep.
Any other sports you're interested in besides American football and basketball?
Those are really the main two. I've always tried to keep up with soccer as much as I can. Yeah. Football as much as I can. Yeah, that's the American in me saying that. But no, I've always tried to keep up with that. Big fan of the Premier League. That's just like I feel like growing up, that's always been a big thing.
You went to London on your weekend off, right?
Yeah.
You get to watch a game?
No, I didn't. There was a game. I think it was Tottenham versus somebody. One of Elias was able to go because he went to London as well. He was able to go. Yeah. But we got in a little bit later, so we were just kind of chilling. But I've always been a big soccer guy. That's always been really cool for me.
All right, I got just a couple more questions. Time's up already. If you could pick a celebrity, who would you go out to dinner with?
Ooh, if I could pick a celebrity to go to,
just hang out for dinner.
Man, I'd probably choose. I'd probably choose. I don't know. I think probably Denzel Washington. Definitely one of my favorite actors. Wow. So I feel like that'd be a cool person to have dinner with. Hopefully get some nice advice, some nice perspective, and have a couple laughs. So that would be cool.
Anything in particular you want to ask him? Just hang out.
Just hang out, yeah, and kind of see where the convo goes. I'm a big fan of like perspectives, especially from people like that who have, amounted so much, success in their professions. I always add in perspective to life, as I think it was super important, and it would be super cool to just, be able to chat with them and about stuff. So that'd be cool.
It's 2023. MJ is turning 60 this year. Yeah. It's his year. Yeah. Wow. Do you think he's still the GOAT?
Yeah, in my opinion, I feel like for me, I feel like LeBron is one of the greatest and has been for his whole career. But I think for me, MJ always be just be the GOAT for me.
All right. Okay, just a couple of things we always do at the end. These are their questions. Some of them we already answered, but I'm going to ask them anyways. Cook or order food?
Ooh, order. Yeah, order.
Hamburger or cheeseburger?
Ooh. Cheeseburger, but it depends on the cheese though.
Cheeseburger without cheese.
Yeah, I need cheeseburger with like pepper jack. I'm a big pepper jack cheese guy. I feel like pepper jack or American cheese. Yeah.
Wine or beer?
Wine.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
You're a summer guy, right?
Yeah, summer. Big summer guy. I'm from the South, so yeah, I'm used to the shorts and the tank top weather for sure.
We're getting there.
Yeah, it's getting close. Couple more months. I'm not like opposed to winter because like I said, I went to school in Boise for a minute, so I'm not foreign to the no sun and everything like that. But I'm definitely a sun guy. I'm definitely a summer guy.
You like the summer in ROSTOCK?
Yeah, I'm excited. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited.
Beach or mountains?
Ooh. I'm mountains. I gotta go mountains.
Mountains guy?
Yeah, mountains guy.
Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
Ooh, Harry Potter. Harry Potter. That's a tough one. That's a tough one, though.
Early bird or sleep in?
Sleep, man.
Sleep in.
Yeah.
That came right on.
Yeah.
Walk or drive? You're American.
Yeah.
So
I would lean towards drive because you can't really walk in Houston. But if I was in Boise, I would say walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I like walking. I don't know. I always find walking really peaceful. Yeah, because everything is really, really close, especially in the city that you can walk to everything. Houston, you got to drive. Like you got to drive. Yeah, it's not the best walkable city, but definitely like Boise's a great place to walk. New York's a great place to walk. I visit my grandfather in North Carolina. We always walk around the neighborhood and things like that. So depending on where you are. But for Houston, yeah, drive probably for me.
Well, time's up. Thanks a lot for your time. It was pretty interesting talking to you. Ja, ich hoffe, euch hat es auch gefallen da draußen. Wir haben heute einiges über Derrick gelernt. Vielleicht wusstet ihr auch schon einiges. Auf jeden Fall hatten wir eine Menge Spaß zusammen. Und ja, danke euch fürs Zuschauen hier beim WIRO Sitzsackschnack. Und dann sehen wir uns demnächst bald wieder. Danke. Ciao.